You've seen the tree of life. You've studied the sephiroth, the paths, the structure. You understand that the Kabbalistic map describes the architecture of the universe, from the infinite to the finite, from divine light to physical matter. But a map you only look at is just decoration. The initiates of the Western mystery tradition, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Dion Fortune's inner light, the adepts who carried these teachings through centuries, they didn't just study the tree, they practiced it. They stood inside it. They activated it in their own body. And the first exercise they taught, the one that every other practice builds upon, was the middle pillar. Today, for the first time on this channel, we're not just explaining a tradition, we're entering one. This is your first Kabbalistic practice. The tree of life has 3 vertical pillars. The left pillar, severity, represents structure, discipline, contraction. The right pillar, mercy, represents expansion, flow, abundance. And the central pillar, equilibrium, is the path of balance between them. The middle pillar exercise works with this central column. 5 sephiroth sit along the middle axis. Kether at the crown, Daath at the throat, Tiphareth at the heart, Yesod at the pelvis, and Malkuth at the feet. In this practice, you visualize each of these centers as a sphere of light within your own body. You activate them one by one, from above to below, using visualization, breath, and vibration. The divine names associated with each sephira are intoned, not as prayer, but as resonance. The sound opens the center. The light descends. Israel Regardie, who published the Golden Dawn's rituals and made them available to the world, called the middle pillar the most important single exercise in the entire Western magical tradition. Dion Fortune described it as the practice that connects the human personality to the higher self. It is, in essence, a meditation that turns the tree of life from a diagram on paper into a living experience inside your body. The first center is Kether, the crown. It sits just above the top of your head. Kether is the point of origin, the first emanation of the divine. In this exercise, you visualize a sphere of brilliant white light at the crown, like a small sun suspended above you. The divine name vibrated here is Eheye, I am. The purest statement of existence. You are announcing yourself to the universe as a vessel of divine light. The second center is Daath, knowledge. It sits at the throat. Daath is not technically a sephira, it is a gateway, the place where the unmanifest becomes manifest. It is the crossing point between the divine realm above and the personal realm below. The divine name here is Yahweh Elohim. As you vibrate this name, a sphere of lavender light forms at the throat, the voice becoming a channel between worlds. The third center is Tiphareth, beauty. It sits at the heart. This is the center of the entire tree, the point of balance, harmony, and the seat of the higher self. The golden light here is the warmest and most personal of all the centers. The divine name is Yahweh Eloah Vadath. In the tradition, Tiphareth is associated with the sun, and in this exercise, you feel that solar warmth radiating from your chest. The fourth center is Yesod, the foundation. It sits at the pelvis. Yesod is the seat of the unconscious, the dream realm, the astral plane. It is associated with the moon. The divine name is Shaddai El Chai, Almighty Living God. The sphere here is violet or deep blue, and it glows with a quieter, more reflective light, the moon to Tiphareth's sun. The fifth center is Malkuth, the kingdom. It sits at the feet, at the base of the body where you meet the earth. Malkuth is the physical world, the end point of the tree, where all the divine energy finally lands. The divine name is Adonai Haaretz, Lord of the earth. The sphere here is dark, dense, earthy, black and olive and russet. This is where the light grounds, where spirit becomes matter. Here is the practice itself. You can do this seated or standing. The eyes are closed. The breath is slow and deep. Begin at Kether. Visualize the sphere of white light above your crown. See it clearly, brilliant, pulsing gently. Inhale. On the exhale, vibrate the name. Haye. Let the sound fill the space above your head. Do this 3 to 5 times. Let the sphere stabilize. Now let a beam of light descend from Kether to the throat. See the lavender sphere form at Daath. Inhale. Vibrate. Yahweh Elohim. 3 to 5 times. Feel the throat open. The light continues downward. A golden sphere forms at the heart. Tiphareth. This is the warmest point. Vibrate. Yahweh Eloah Vadath. Feel the solar warmth spread through the chest. Downward to Yesod. A violet sphere at the pelvis. Vibrate. Shaddai El Chai. Feel the quieter lunar energy. And finally, Malkuth, a dark sphere at the feet. Vibrate. Adonai Haaretz. Feel yourself grounded, connected to the earth below and the divine above simultaneously. Now you hold the complete pillar. 5 spheres of light connected by a single column of energy running through the center of your body. You are the middle pillar of the tree of life. Sit with this for as long as feels right. Breathe into the light. Let it circulate. What happens when you practice this regularly? The tradition describes it in esoteric language. The aura brightens, the subtle body strengthens, the higher self becomes accessible. But in practical terms, what practitioners report is simpler and more immediate. Stillness. Not the forced quiet of trying to meditate, but a natural settling, as if the noise in the mind simply runs out of fuel. A sense of being centered, of standing in your own axis rather than being pulled by everything around you. Emotional reactivity decreases, not because you suppress what you feel, but because there is more space between the stimulus and the response. Some practitioners report subtler experiences, warmth in the chest, tingling at the crown, a sense of light or energy moving through the body. These are not required. They are not the goal. The goal is alignment. The goal is to stand in the center of your own tree and feel, not just intellectually, but in the body, that you are connected to something larger. Israel Regardie recommended practicing the middle pillar daily for a minimum of 6 months before moving to any other ritual work. Dion Fortune called it the practice that makes all other practices possible. This is a new thread within the Hidden Thread. We've spent 5 videos mapping the traditions: Kabbalah, Freemasonry, sacred geometry, alchemy, Hermeticism. Now we're stepping off the map and into the territory. This is the beginning of a practical series, exercises, meditations, and inner work drawn from the Hermetic Kabbalistic tradition. The middle pillar is your foundation. Everything that follows, path working on the sephiroth, the lesser banishing ritual, the circulation of the body of light, all of it rests on this single practice. Start here. 5 minutes a day, Stand in the center of the tree and breathe. Next week, we turn to another tradition that encodes these same principles in a completely different form. 78 images, each one a hermetic map of the soul. The tarot is not fortune-telling, it is a mirror. And once you've stood inside the tree, you'll read it differently. This is The Hidden Thread,